It's Spitball Jazz. In this video, I am going to talk about my first bodybuilding show, competition, whatever you want to call it. Funny thing is, when I was younger, like in my teenage years, I used to get asked if I was a bodybuilder, and it used to be a joke. Like, it was something that was said to be funny. And I used to be offended because I wasn't a bodybuilder. I didn't even know what a bodybuilder was. Like, I had an idea, but I didn't really understand like how I do now. So, then as I got older, I kept getting asked that question a lot more. Like, do you compete? Are you a competitor? And I'm thinking, I don't even know what that is. Like, what is that? And it made me curious. And y'all know me, when I get curious, I'll try something. So I got curious, and then I met this guy in the gym. He was basically like persuading me, like, you'll do good. He wasn't the only one though. It was a lot of people telling me, you would do good because you are naturally built like this compared to other people that are on drugs or enhancements, supplements, and other things to get that look. You have it naturally. So I have a lot of people in my ear convincing me to do it. Y'all know me. I'll try something. So I tried it. The first thing was, okay, let's talk about the coaching. Remind you, I feel like the person that I had for a coach served his purpose, and once I figured that his purpose no longer served me, then I dipped. I didn't necessarily pick a coach because I didn't know how to pick a coach. I was referred a coach and I just went with the flow. Like, oh, okay, this person, cool. You know, he could train me. This is just a tip. If you're interested in doing a bodybuilding show or competition, do your research about who you're allowing to coach you. I felt like, and I'm trying to say this in a humble way, I don't think it's going to come out that way. I can't be more qualified than the person that is training me. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm legitly more qualified than you. Granted, he may have certain experiences over me, but when it comes to like, and because I think I'm an entrepreneur and I'm into business and all that, certain things don't make sense to pay for. So it's like, I'm investing this money into another person when I could take this and invest it in my business, because this isn't benefiting me in the long run. So for me, I did a competition in July of this year, 2024. I was in school from January until April. So I didn't want the stress of being in school and trying to prepare for a show. So I said, okay, when I get out of school, which was April, I'll start preparing and I'll get a coach then. And I'm able to like see if it's worth me paying for it. So I have May and I have June and part of July. So I have like 2.5 months to get ready for this show. I'm thinking I must already be in shape because everybody is saying that I look like a competitor or I look like I compete. So I must not have that much work to do anyways. So I'm going to give this coach this amount of time, and during that time of me like testing and going through this trial period, I can kind of like see if I want to continue bodybuilding or I want to continue with this coach. do your research. Do your research. Figure out this person. Have they competed before? Have they worked with competitors? Have they worked with women? What qualifications do they have? Ask these questions ahead of time. That way you know what you're getting yourself into, versus just going with the flow of something, giving away money like I just got it like that, even though I got God, but I'm just I'm not stewarding my blessings that God has given me well if I'm not asking these questions and I'm just free willy just giving money away. And so after that, after I had him as a coach, remind you, there was some type of attraction between me and this coach. Not gonna lie. So yes, I would be flirting, or yes, I would, it wouldn't be a trainer and a client type of situation. And then I came to my senses and was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Bring it back. Bring it back in. Reel it back in, Jasmine. Reel it back in. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, you're paying this man. He's not really he's not worth it. And on top of that, he's having access to you in a certain way that's really not appropriate for the situation that you hired him for. I didn't pay you to get to know me or date me or get close to me or be in my energy bubble or any of that stuff. So I'm like, come on, fit boss, get it together. Get it together. I think at that time, I was definitely back on my celibacy journey. So certain things I knew were triggers for me, I had to cut off, play no games. So I feel like, me personally, I'm not gonna say I can't. It's not ideal for me to have a male coach, because with a male coach, it comes with what I don't want no coach that's not physically fit or unattractive. So I'm like, it's not gonna work, because when you're being trained where I'm a woman, I have hormones, this is real. So in order to control that aspect of it, I don't want to be trained by a man, because that's what I'm attracted to. And so I figured that out about myself, nope, that's not what I want. And then on top of that, it was just, yeah. And this isn't throwing shade or talking bad about him. I genuinely don't feel he's a bad person, or I don't have anything negative to say about him. I just know for me, it wasn't good. So I got up out of there real quick. And so as I'm prepping for the show and the dieting, what I really ate was, the whole prep was half a cup of rice, half a cup of broccoli, and chicken. I can't remember the measurements, maybe it was a palm size amount. And I feel like that was the most difficult part, because I'm used to being able to eat what I want to eat and not questioning it or not having to fight urges. But it seemed like once you set that intention or that goal, this is what I have to eat in order to shred my body, which I'm naturally already that way, but I hold weight. When I'm eating good, it's gonna show in my gut. My abs not coming through, I'm eating good. And so I didn't stick to the diet. I was eating burgers. I was going out to, I was eating, granted, Chipotle. If I didn't have the queso and all that extra stuff, I could have probably got away with it. I wasn't doing right. I was not sticking to a diet. And maybe an hour or two before the show, I had Burger King. I don't know. I was not taking it seriously, and I don't know. That's just, I was thinking in my mind, who does this? Like, who willingly put themselves through this when you got all this good food out here to eat, to get on this stage, show off your body in front of these judges, and wait, this is the part that got me. I'm paying you to look at me. And if you watched my previous video, I'm used to getting paid to be looked at in the strip club. So that part didn't make sense to me. Like, you want me to pay a membership fee and then pay, I think the membership fee was like $150, and then pay another $150 to compete in whatever division I wanted to compete in. And then, if I want to do any other division, that's an extra additional, I don't know, $100. So for each division you want to compete in, that's more money. And I was like, yeah, something about this don't make sense. Like, it's stupid. No offense to anybody who has a passion to bodybuild, or this is like their life or their career. I was just thinking, like, this don't make no sense. So, also, because it was my first show, people were telling me like, oh no, you would do good in wellness. Wellness, from my understanding, is you're more heavier at the bottom and you're smaller at the top. So you're more dense. So if you have glutes, thighs, and all that stuff, wellness is for you. And bikini is very slim, petite, yet still muscular, not as hard as the wellness girls. So I felt like I was in between. I felt like I was too heavier at the bottom as far as like thighs and glutes to be bikini, but then I felt like I was too small to be with wellness. So I said, well, I'm gonna just go with bikini, because I know if I continue competing, I will never be able to do bikini again, because I wouldn't lose weight to fit that category. If anything, I would gain weight to make me a little bit more bigger to be in the wellness category. And plus, I like the wellness look. I don't want to be no toothpick, which my natural body type, even though I'm small, I'm very dense with muscle. So it would be hard for me to lose that because I naturally have it. It's nothing I really had to work for. And so I would definitely go up in divisions. So I said, okay, I'm going to try bikini. So I did bikini. I made my bikini. Like, I sewed everything from scratch. I like being creative and being able to style myself and create my own looks, and just having the skills that it takes to put myself out there, right? So anyways, back on track. I did bikini, and then when I got to the show, first off, tanning. Now, maybe I didn't feel indifferent about this because, once again, I was in the military, so I've had to bathe with other women, shower with other women, and then being in the club, I've changed and undressed in front. So, like, for me, that wasn't the weird part, because I guess I've already been doing this, so it was kind of like I was used to it. So my mind, it wasn't like I think when I first had to get naked in front of other women, like in the military, and shower with them, it was a shock to my mind, because I've never had to do that before. I was thinking, what did I sign up for? And then I guess after that point, it just became like natural. So I wasn't, I didn't feel any type of way about not having on clothes or being naked in front of other women. Now it was weird when you gotta like spread your arms out, spread your legs out, and then they spray tan you, and it is cold, and you have to stand like this in front of the dryer to dry the tan off on you. You don't have to be naked. You could wear like a G-string, like a thong or something. Yeah. That's what I got to say about the being naked part. And then after you get the spray tan, well, the spray tan was done before the show. And then after the show, or after the spray tan, you go home and you have to sleep with like stuff that you don't mind getting messed up over your body. Don't sleep on your white sheets or light colored sheets. Don't even sleep on your bed because it can rub off on that. And then you get up. I got up, and then it was time for the show. It was time for the show, so I did my makeup. I don't ever do my hair. I always pay for my hair to get done if I want it a specific way. And the funny thing about my hair was, so I was used to getting like these petals when my hair was short. And they were cute. And so now that my hair is longer and I got the petals, they were actually like big. And I thought it was funny because it's not the typical look of a competitor. Like, I didn't see no one at the show with their hair like that. So I always think stuff like that is funny when I do something that's out of the norm. And so yeah, my hair was done like that. I did my makeup. I made my bikini. I put the rhinestones on it and stuff. I had bought my heels. I had a robe on to walk around until I got on stage. And so they have like these sheets of paper listed on the door on what category is going and who's in that category. So I had some time to wait before it was my turn to get on stage. And then you got the spray tan people in the back, basically touching up your spray tan in case like you got some water on it or whatever the case may be. And then I did like see one person that I knew from the gym. She was competing in bikini. So when it was my turn to get on the stage, and they line you up based off your height. And so there's a line of girls. You got the shortest girls, and then you get to the like more tall, average girls, 5'6". So I was 5'6", so I was towards the back. Even though I think that's a pretty average height, but I think they separate it by your height because obviously if you're short, your weight is distributed differently than someone who's taller. So as I'm standing in the line, it was only one other person in my category, and her coach, she was like Hispanic and he was Hispanic, and he asked me, am I bikini? And I was like, yeah. And everybody was asking me if I was competing in bikini. And I was like, yeah. And then that's when it hit me. You should not be competing in bikini because you're not small. Like, these girls were little. And I would never, unless I like literally starve myself, which I'm not going to do, I would fit that category. In my mind, I'm like, it's my first show. I can only compete in True Novice one time. And this is the bikini category. So I'm probably never going to compete in bikini again. Unless I do a natural show, then I probably could compete in bikini. But I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I'm like, okay, I'm in bikini. I probably should have done wellness, which even if I would have done wellness, either way, I would have gotten a medal or won something. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But how I knew I wasn't supposed to be in bikini was when Dexter Jackson, he won Mr. Olympia in '08, he asked me if I was bikini. And I said yes. And he was looking like, no, you're not. He was looking like, I think you're wellness. And I already knew that I wasn't about to pay to compete in bikini and wellness. So I'm like, no, I'm only competing in bikini and then I'm going home because I'm not giving y'all my money. And so, and another thing I was thinking, how did he know if I'm bikini or wellness when I got this big baggy shirt on, these loose pants on? How can he even see my body to know that? And so I was like, I don't want to question Mr. Olympia. So I was just like, oh, okay, you know, I didn't compete in wellness. But when I seen the wellness girls that competed, I was thinking, they were thicker than me. And some of them were just like, yeah, I'm not going to say what I want to say. But yeah. So then after the show, I felt like, well, first off, when the girls found out that I made my bikini, it was like, I did not come prepared. I didn't come with business cards. I didn't come with extra bikinis on hand. I didn't come with anything to promote it. But I knew it was a good opportunity because of the amount of people that's there. And yeah, it was a good opportunity to promote what I do. And I did that by doing the competition, but I should have been in the back, like when I'm with the girls, like behind the stage, giving out my card or talking to them and, you know, promoting what I do. And so now that I've had the experience of competing and I really don't see this being a long-term thing for me, I do feel like it's a good way to market and promote the bigger picture, the bigger thing of what I do. Now, do I think that a Christian woman or a woman who follows Christ, should she be bodybuilding, competing, or any of those things? And this is my opinion. This is my opinion, right? So going into it, for me, I had a purpose, I had a strategy, I had a reason. And my purpose, strategy, reason may not be the next person's. Other people may have other motives or other reasons why they do it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. If you've had a conversation with God and he's like, no, that's not part of your assignment. That's not part of your calling. That's not what I want you to do. Of course, you got to be obedient to that. But I feel like a lot of times we will have personal convictions, and our personal convictions may not be the next person's conviction. And sometimes I think that certain fields or certain industries are questionable. But it takes a certain type of person to stick to their belief and be able to do it. Because I don't think bodybuilding itself is wrong, but the things that can be a byproduct or the things that can come out of bodybuilding obviously is wrong. Like drug use to get this look, or being too into like yourself. You can start idolizing it. And I think some of the benefits or some of the good things from bodybuilding that I wasn't even disciplined enough to do, which was eating a certain diet. The exercising part I already was doing. Just certain things I feel like could strengthen and help your walk with Christ. Now, do I feel like this is a long-term thing or something to make a career out of? Not for me. I won't be doing this like as a career thing. I don't think it would be beneficial or healthy for my mental. And like I said, once again, at a certain point, I know it will not make any sense for me to keep doing. So I would stop. However, I will be doing a show in March in Tampa. I'll try that out. I have a different approach, a different strategy, a different reason to do it. And I think that'll kind of give me an idea of where I should go from there. But everything's a journey. Everything's trial and error. You have to test things out. And everyone won't be as risky as I am, because I will jump off the porch and into, like, as long as I know for sure I'm not doing anything against God, I'll try it. And even sometimes I've tried things that I knew were questionable, but I didn't know why it was against God, but I still tried it. And then once I understood certain things, I let it go. But we still have choices and decisions to make and lessons to learn. And sometimes I feel like you won't learn those things by being in this bubble and closed off. The work assigned to you may not be ideal or may not look right, and that's okay, because there are people to be reached in every industry, in every walk of life, and sometimes it's in the trenches. Now, if God was to tell me right now that He want me to go back to the club and testify to some of the girls to get them, on board with Christ, I would say, God, why? I know that because I've experienced it, I already know the temptations and the things of it, so it wouldn't bother me. I could do it, but I don't want to. I wouldn't want to. But if that was part of the assignment or part of the call or part of the mission, because who goes to church to make disciples? Usually when people are already in church, especially when they're older, they already follow Christ. So now you have to go out in places where people don't go or won't go. And that's just my take and my look on it. But we will see where I go from here. Don't be surprised. I'm telling you now, don't be surprised at anything I do, because I am a wild card. I'm always doing something. So yeah, that's where I'm at with bodybuilding.